Morning, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend like we did. Well, it's Monday morning, time to get back at it. Today's job, what we're looking to come up this valley here. This is another valley. We got the brush cutter out, so we're going to clear this out and come up here towards the driveway, which is where you're sitting at right now. It's about 150 yards long, something like that. So a little bit of work today, probably going to take most of the day. So we'll fire it up, get ready to go. It's going to be over 90 today. Let's get it. All right, as you can see behind me, we got quite a bit of work to do today. All right, we're going to fire up the brush cutter, get to work. Here we go. All right, guys, been running this show here for about an hour or so, and we're really making pretty good progress. Easily halfway up the hill at this point. As we've gotten further and further up the hill, we're really just running into more like a lighter underbrush, a lot of fern, smaller saplings and things like that, which come down really quick here. So we're going to keep hammering away, and looks like we're going to be done with this before lunch. Let's get it. Guys, well, there you have it. Knocked this out really before lunch, so it worked out pretty well. Certainly narrowed as we got further up here towards the top. Probably only about 30 feet wide here at the top where I'm standing now. We'll swing back around here, show you. Yeah, right up there, tripod. I don't know if you can see all that. Let's see here. Yeah, up there. So really this is the entire area that I wanted to get done. Was thinking it was going to take all day. Certainly wasn't the case. So I'm probably going to take I have a little more of an aggressive blade for my brush cutter. And I'm probably going to bring that down here, cut down some of these other bigger saplings. So we'll take a look at how this appears now. Still kind of not really brushy, but just a bunch of smaller, thicker saplings. This other blade, I'll show you guys a little later, and we'll bring it down here and take down some of these things. It'll definitely open it up a little bit more. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, well, it's the next day. Things got crazy yesterday afternoon. I got involved in another project in another part of the property. It, of course, involved kudzu, and I was out there for a couple hours in that heat yesterday. So didn't get a chance to fill you in. I just wanted to show you some of the stuff I use on my brush cutter here. It is probably the most used tool I've used so far, about 4.5 months now of working on the project here and other things around the property. Super reliable, heavy duty. I can do a lot with it in a very short amount of time, which you've seen already in some of these videos. Okay, let's get into what kind of came with the brush cutter itself. Basically 3 things. One, this is the Husqvarna blade that comes with it. Relatively thin, okay? It does a very good job. It does a very good job of cutting smaller saplings and things like that. Probably anywhere up to about, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches or so. Probably maybe a little larger if you work your way around the tree, but it ends up getting pinched a lot, okay? It only cuts, the kerf on this is really small, and it ends up getting pinched quite a bit. The second one that came with the brush cutter itself, this is a 3-blade cutter. Again, it's a Husqvarna. I use it to cut high grass that's generally 2-3 feet high, knee high, things like that. I've got some stuff along the roadway where the county comes through and cuts it with their brush cutters and stuff like that, which I generally out there a lot more frequently than they are. But this works really well for high grass. It comes very dull. I sharpened one edge of it. It seems to cut a little better, but I don't think you'd really have to sharpen the cutting side as it's rotating. Good tool. I don't use it a whole lot, maybe once a month or something like that. Like I said, when I'm out there cutting the larger grasses around the property. No trees, don't cut any saplings with this. Again, it's a very thick, dull, blunted tool. You need something with a kind of a larger blade to handle those saplings. And of course, the last attachment that came with the brush cutter is your basic grass attachment. I use this really just around the house. Minimal usage. I've only refilled the line once on it. Holds about 25-30 feet of line. Very good. It really seems this brush cutter is kind of overkill for doing the trimming and stuff around the house, but it's what I have, and it makes quick work of it. No problems, no complaints about this at all. Works great. Now, the first aftermarket blade I purchased for it, I got a 2-pack of these Forester blades from Amazon. They were about 15-20 bucks, something like that. And this is actually chainsaw teeth attached to this metal disc. Very aggressive. There hasn't been, if you can get this blade into the tree, it's absolutely going to cut it down. It's very aggressive. I have the tools and everything I need to sharpen these blades with my chainsaws and everything like that. But this one here takes a 7/32 file. Makes quick work of whatever you're using it for, but it's very specific in cutting down saplings or small trees and things like that. It doesn't do real well on grass and kind of brush, especially once I show you what I use for most of that other stuff. But pretty effective. I get probably half a day, and then I have to switch over to the other one because it needs to be sharpened. It takes 5 or 10 minutes to sharpen this thing up, get it back to working condition. But again, very good, very efficient at bringing down small trees. Again, not so great with grasses and brush and things like that. The last one I want to tell you about is this piece here. This is an Oregon blade. All right, this is model number 295504. This is the workhorse. This is I use this just about every time I break out the brush cutter. It is a very aggressive, very easy to sharpen, and it's an excellent piece of gear. It is a mulching blade. I think they classify it as a mulching blade. And it's got these wings on it here on each side. When this is on the brush cutter, he's actually face down. So with the bolt, the attachment bolt that's on the bottom, you're basically getting down just about at or below ground level. So any type of brush, I use this a lot for kudzu vines that are on the ground, to be able to get down to that ground level to chop those vines up. But this makes quick work. Like I said, I sharpen it probably just about every time I take it out. It is not going to last forever. I can already see that this wing here is slightly shorter than this wing here, just from times where I've hit rocks and things like that. It does spark, but it obviously will wear those down eventually, and we'll just have to pick up a new one. Not too expensive. I think it was $20, I think. But a great piece of gear. I use this for a lot. This is very good on just about everything from tall grasses, excuse me, saplings, brush, bushes, things like that. It really chops the living daylights out of just about everything you send it towards. And like I said, easy to sharpen. I just use my grinder. If I'm out in the field, I have a file inside my gas can here that I carry out there. If I really ding something up, I'll file it on the spot. But again, great piece of gear right here. This has been the workhorse of my brush cutting out around the property so far. All right, so that's what you got. Those are the things that get attached to our brush cutter here. Can't really say anything bad about either one of them. Each piece of gear has a somewhat of a specific duty it performs while attached to the machine. So that wraps it up. All right, I'm going to get this video put back together, and then we're going to head out on today's project. Stuff I'm looking at today. I'm trying to find one of the property pins out there, the property corner. I've got some chainsawing to do, and probably break out the brush cutter. I mean, why not, right? All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.